The charming German city of Düsseldorf, situated on the Rhine River, seemed peaceful and lovely. Its picturesque streets and vibrant culture painted a picture of serenity and joy. Tourists and locals alike enjoyed the scenic views, the bustling markets, and the rich history that the city had to offer. But beneath this beautiful facade, something sinister was brewing. But underneath this pleasant surface, a dark secret hid. As night fell, the atmosphere changed. The once lively streets turned into eerie pathways, and the shadows seemed to whisper of hidden dangers. The city that was so full of life during the day became a place of fear and uncertainty when the sun went down. A dangerous person was hunting in the streets, his desire for blood growing stronger every night. This predator moved silently, blending into the darkness, his presence felt but rarely seen. The residents of Düsseldorf were unaware of the terror that lurked among them, a monster hiding in plain sight. It was 1929, and the city was about to face a terrible nightmare. The streets that once echoed with laughter and joy would soon be filled with cries of horror and despair. The year marked the beginning of a dark chapter in Düsseldorf's history, one that would be remembered for generations to come. This is the scary story of Peter Kürten, the vampire of Düsseldorf. Known for his gruesome acts, Kürten's name became synonymous with fear and dread. His cold, calculating nature and his insatiable thirst for blood made him one of the most notorious figures in criminal history. Just hearing his name makes people shiver, bringing to mind images of horrible things. The mere mention of Kürten's name was enough to send chills down the spine of anyone who heard it. His reign of terror left an indelible mark on the collective psyche of the city, a scar that would never fully heal. Kürten's reign of terror left a permanent scar on the city, its people forever changed by the cruelty of his actions. The once vibrant and lively streets of Düsseldorf were now haunted by the memories of his heinous crimes. The fear he instilled in the hearts of the residents lingered long after he was gone. His story is not for those who are easily scared, a chilling reminder that monsters are real, hiding in plain sight, their true selves masked by a normal appearance. Peter Kürten's tale serves as a grim warning that evil can exist anywhere, even in the most unexpected places. It is a story that continues to fascinate and horrify, a testament to the darkest corners of the human soul. As darkness fell over Düsseldorf, so did a powerful feeling of dread. Rumors of a crazy man on the loose spread quickly, each terrible detail making the fear even worse. The people, once used to the peace and quiet of their city, now lived in constant fear, always feeling like they were being watched by the hidden predator. The police were confused, trying to understand the seemingly random attacks happening all over the city. Each new victim brought a new wave of panic, the number of dead rising as the killer remained free. The streets, once full of life, were now strangely empty, the laughter of children replaced by a terrifying silence. Peter Kürten's crimes were both shocking and gruesome, each murder showing the signs of a sick and twisted mind. His victims, often young women and children, were chosen randomly, their lives taken to satisfy his thirst for blood. The pure savagery of the attacks shocked the city, leaving even the most experienced investigators horrified. One truly awful case involved a young woman named Maria Kuhn, who was found brutally murdered in a park. Her throat had been cut, her body covered in stab wounds, and it looked like Kürten had drunk her blood. The brutality of the crime chilled everyone to the bone, a clear sign of the evil they were dealing with. Kürten's way of killing was both planned and disturbing. He often chose victims who were alone and easy to attack, striking quickly and disappearing into the night just as fast. The random nature of his attacks made the terror in Düsseldorf even worse, as no one knew who would be next. The brutality of his crimes was shocking. He didn't just kill his victims, he seemed to enjoy their suffering, hurting and mutilating them without any feeling. His weapons varied, from knives and hammers to his own hands, each murder a testament to his cruel nature. Section 5, A Breakthrough, the Letter and the Search. As months turned into years, the investigation into the vampire of Düsseldorf seemed to be going nowhere. The killer, feeling confident that he wouldn't be caught, continued his reign of terror, pushing the city to the edge of despair. But a bit of hope came from an unexpected place. In May 1930, a local newspaper got a letter written by Peter Kürten himself. In this creepy letter, he gave details of his crimes, telling the police where to find the shallow grave of one of his victims. The letter, a gruesome confession, changed the investigation, giving the police their first real clue in the case. Section 6. Capture and Confession, Unmasking the Monster. Kürten's letter made the police search harder, focusing on the area where he said he buried one of his victims. Finding the body confirmed their worst fears, and they started to close in on the killer. But it was a chance meeting that finally led to his capture. On May 24, 1930, Kürten approached a young woman on the street, trying to trick her into going somewhere private, but the woman recognized him from the wanted posters all over the city and told the police. Kürten was arrested soon after, his reign of terror finally over. Section 7. The Trial of the Century Justice for the Victims. Peter Kürten's trial, which started in April 1931, was a huge media event. The courtroom was packed with reporters and photographers, all eager to capture every moment of the proceedings. The public's fascination with the case was palpable, as people from all walks of life followed the trial closely. Called the Trial of the Century, it caught the attention of the nation and the world as people struggled to understand the horrible nature of his crimes and the evil of the man responsible. Newspapers were filled with shocking headlines, and people eagerly read every detail, trying to make sense of the horror that had unfolded in their midst. The courtroom was full every day, as witnesses told terrifying stories, their words painting a clear picture of the monster who had held Düsseldorf captive for so long. Each testimony added another layer to the gruesome narrative, revealing the extent of Kürten's brutality and the fear he had instilled in the community. Kürten seemed to enjoy the attention, often smirking and looking at the people in the courtroom. His demeanor was chilling, as he appeared to revel in the notoriety his crimes had brought him. The coldness in his eyes and the smirk on his face were a stark contrast to the pain and suffering he had caused. He confessed to a shocking 68 crimes, including 9 murders, many attempted murders, arson, and a series of sexual assaults. His confessions were detailed and horrifying, leaving no doubt about his guilt. The sheer number of his crimes was staggering, and each confession added to the weight of the evidence against him, and a series of sexual assaults. The evidence presented in court was overwhelming, with archive photos of arson and crime scenes, and detailed police reports that painted a grim picture of Kürten's reign of terror. He confessed without showing any regret or empathy for his victims. His lack of remorse was evident as he recounted his crimes with a chilling detachment. The cold, expressionless face he wore throughout the trial was a haunting reminder of the evil that had lurked in Düsseldorf. Section 8. Sentencing and Execution. The vampire meets his end. On April 22, 1931, after a 10-day trial, the jury took less than 2 hours to decide he was guilty. Peter Kürten, the vampire of Düsseldorf, was sentenced to death. His reign of terror was over, but the damage he caused to the city and its people would last for generations. On July 2, 1931, Kürten was taken to the guillotine in Cologne. Even as he faced death, he remained strangely calm, reportedly asking his lawyer, "Tell me, after my head is chopped off, will I still be able to hear, at least for a moment, the sound of my own blood gushing from the stump of my neck? That would be the pleasure to end all pleasures." Section 9. Legacy of Terror. The Enduring Shadow of Kürten. The case of the vampire of Düsseldorf shocked Germany and the world, sending ripples of fear and fascination through society. The heinous acts committed by Peter Kürten were not just crimes, they were a brutal assault on the collective sense of security and morality, leaving a permanent mark on criminal history. His trial was a spectacle drawing crowds and media attention as people tried to comprehend the mind of a man who could commit such atrocities. It showed the dark side of society, revealing the vulnerabilities and fears that lurk beneath the surface of everyday life. The streets of Düsseldorf, once bustling with life, became shrouded in an atmosphere of dread and suspicion, forcing people to face the disturbing truth that monsters can hide in plain sight, blending seamlessly into the fabric of normalcy. The idea that someone so seemingly ordinary could harbour such malevolence was a chilling revelation, their true nature hidden beneath a normal appearance. This duality of human nature, the capacity for both good and evil, became a focal point of public discourse and psychological study. Even today, almost a century after his crimes, the name Peter Kürten still evokes a visceral reaction. His story has been retold in books, documentaries and films, each time reigniting the horror and fascination with his dark legacy. Peter Kürten's name still brings up feelings of fear and disgust. The psychological impact of his actions continues to be felt, a testament to the enduring power of his infamy. His story reminds us how fragile life is, how easily the veneer of civilization can be shattered by acts of unspeakable evil. It serves as a grim reminder of the potential for darkness within the human soul, and how evil can appear when we least expect it. The legacy of Kürten is a cautionary tale, urging vigilance and awareness in a world where danger can lurk in the most unexpected places. And so, the legend of the Vampire of Düsseldorf lives on, a dark chapter in the annals of criminal history. His story is a haunting echo from the past, a warning that transcends time and place, a warning passed down through time, a stark reminder of the thin line between normalcy and chaos. It is a story that compels us to look closer, to question the familiar and to never take safety for granted, a stark reminder that sometimes the monsters we fear the most are the ones living among us. The tale of Peter Kürten is a chilling testament to this unsettling truth, forever etched in the shadowy corners of our collective memory.